he's a Singaporean cute boy. You know, you love him a lot.
Boy.
It's the next step to BTO together.
Wait.
This is such a funny question for Danya.
Wait. No, the thing is, I can't BTO because I can't marry a man.
Hello everyone and welcome back to FIREside Chats, the podcast where we take you through Singaporeans' experiences with saving, investing and making money. I'm Tina.
And I'm Sally. And as per usual, a disclaimer before we start. The stories and discussions shared in this podcast are based on personal experiences and individual journeys. They are intended for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. With that out of the way, Tina, let me ask you a question. Would you ever want to live abroad?
Oh, of course I want to live abroad. In fact, I think it would be even better if I could fund the trip myself.
Okay, and our guest today has managed to do exactly that. Please welcome Danya Astria, a 23-year-old who has managed to fund her own life since she was 19.
Hi,
Danya.
I'm Danya. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Tanya, your voice is so cute.
Thank you. I get that a lot actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. Yeah, that was like one of my first few impressions of you. Wait, but Danya, you haven't fully introduced yourself.
Okay. I'm Danya. I'm a homeless backpacker. Yeah, what else do I say? I'm an independent traveler slash Singapore home renter. Yeah.
Yeah, and a little fun fact about Danya, she has travelled to many places and has lived at many places as well. Maybe you could list some of the places that you've lived in?
This year I've been to Indonesia. It's like my second home now. And then Thailand, Nepal, Philippines. Yeah, and then like last year it was Sri Lanka, a few other places. Also, I was in Europe last year. Yeah, so
She's a globetrotter.
Oh, Tanya, I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
That's a lot of countries. Yeah, and I would think that you have chosen to take quite a unique path that not many Singaporeans have taken. So could you share what made you decide to leave home and start travelling?
It all started from like when I was 19 and I had to live independently. So I started renting, and that was like during COVID. So I started renting in Singapore, and then realized it was so expensive.
Yeah.
And I couldn't save much. So right after COVID, I decided to move abroad. Like I decided to travel and basically move every month. Yeah, and then while doing that, I had like my little online jobs to sustain myself. Obviously, if not, I'll die. But yeah,
So a bit like a digital nomad.
yeah, basically.
Wow.
Then, were there moments when you doubted your decision?
I don't know. I feel like I'm an impulsive person. So when I do things, I just do things. Like yesterday I just booked a flight for next week. So usually I book the flight like 3 days before. So this is an improvement.
No, even that is crazy. Okay, for a little bit of context, like Danya and I have some history. We've known each other since like maybe 5-6 years ago.
Oh my god.
It's been 5-6 years.
That is damn long.
Yeah, actually no, 7 years.
Poly.
Yeah, because we knew each other in year 1 poly, and I'm now in my 4th year. So yeah, we've known each other for 7 years, and Danya is like, she's just a go-getter. Whatever she wants, she just does it.
That's just a better way of saying I'm impulsive, but okay.
Yeah, but like, I mean, seeing all this, right, like making the decision to leave home and then go travel to so many countries, I'm sure it hasn't been easy. So do you ever feel worried about how it's like to go against the norms in Singapore?
Mostly the worry comes from like financial concerns. Like is this job enough to like sustain my life, or like am I gonna have to eat less this month, or things like that, or like where am I gonna stay this month, you know what I mean? I didn't think much about like, oh, I need to go back to Singapore. I'm gonna regret doing this, because like for me, going abroad is safer than being in Singapore in a sense. Yeah, it's more secure.
How come?
Financially, and also like family related problems. So I prefer being abroad. And it's a more economical choice. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah, actually, we'll get into more of that later. But actually, I have a question for you now regarding that. Because you're also a content creator, right? And you share your experiences online. Have you ever received like criticism for your choices?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I like first started moving out and rented out, yes, I got a lot of criticism. Mainly from like super family oriented people. And also I spoke a little about religion and like about me living the religion, stuff like that. So yeah, mostly from that. But travel content wise, like a lot of people are interested in like seeing where I go next, because it's the places that I go are not really conventional places, I would say.
Yes.
Like right? It's not like Europe or like, oh, I'm going to Paris. You know, it's not like that. Like I like to show the less luxurious side of like traveling, and like I want to be able to show people that you can do it with little amount of money.
Would you say like this entire experience of you backpacking and traveling everywhere has made you like emotionally fulfilled?
Yes, actually there were a few times when I was like abroad, I would like meditate and then randomly cry.
Oh no.
Not out of like sadness, it was like, oh my god, I'm so grateful that I have this life.
And it's amazing that you've been able to do it at such a young age.
Yeah.
Okay, and to add on to that, what really fascinates us about your story is not just about how you've been able to make it emotionally fulfilling, but also like financially sustainable at such a young age. And with that said, I think definitely the part that we're most curious about is the money that goes behind all these experiences. So could you give us like a rough breakdown on how much it takes, and like a breakdown of how you've managed to budget?
So outside of Singapore, usually I would rent. So usually I would stay in one location for 1 month. So I would rent a place very cheap, or I used to do like volunteering.
Oh.
Yeah, for like hostels and stuff.
So
Yeah.
they give you like a
Free stay.
Yeah. So that's very rare occasions, but usually I need to work, so I need my own like time and place. So usually like per month it can go, this is max, okay, like 500 per month.
Wait, that's really good.
500 Sing dollars per month.
Yeah, for either an apartment or a room, but usually an apartment.
Guys.
So
Wow.
yeah,
$500, you can't get much in no,
Yeah.
sorry, not to shade. But you can't get much in Singapore in general.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a comms. What else?
Food can go as low as 200. I'm thinking right now in Asia, yeah, like in Indonesia, I can spend that little, like even less than that. My accommodations in Indonesia was much less.
Pause.
And-
$200 a month on food?
Yeah,
Wait, that's crazy.
I'm talking like go out buy food, not groceries.
Wait,
BTW.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So a comms, food.
What about
Transport.
Transport. I don't know if I gave much budget to transport, but transport usually comes with like, oh, if I'm traveling to somewhere. But sometimes I rent a bike in the rent a little scooter.
Kakak motor?
Like, yes. In Thailand I rent, in Vietnam I did, Sri Lanka I did, in Indonesia always I have to rent. It's about 100 per month. For Indonesia, I'm looking at Indonesia.
Wait,
2 days of Grab.
Bike, as in like motorcycle.
Motorbike.
You know how to ride a motorbike?
It's quite easy.
Danya, you're so cool. What have you been doing?
It's actually very. Oh my god, Sally, you're Indonesian.
Stop! Don't shame me like that.
Yeah. Okay. So what about activities and hobbies?
Yes, because you have a
Yeah.
lot, right?
Yeah.
Fun fact, Danya likes to surf.
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like I forgot how to surf since like coming back here. Like it's been 3 months I've been in Singapore straight for school. But yeah, I like to surf. That's mostly like when I travel, I think about, oh, is there a beach near me? Yeah. So surfing, it's not that expensive if you're in Asia, and usually I just rent the board. I don't go for classes.
Oh,
'Cause, like-
because she's good.
No, I'm not. I just like being alone, you know. Yeah, that would be. I don't really know if I've calculated this, but like total maybe 100 per month to like rent a board.
So Danya, if you were to compare how much you spend in Singapore on average and how much you spend overseas, what is the difference like?
So in Singapore, like my rent could go from 800 to 1,000. It's not an apartment; it's a room, a tiny room. And then groceries is like 200. And then usually I limit my activities because it's Singapore. If I'm hanging out with friends, blah blah blah, that's 200. So I think in total I would say I spend in Singapore per month 1.5k.
1.5k.
Yeah.
But
And I-
versus in Indonesia?
I calculated in my head just now. It's
Yeah.
900.
Yeah,
Yeah.
900.
So Danya, by staying overseas, you actually, spend a lot lesser and you actually save more.
Yeah.
Now we actually want to talk more about your current lifestyle. Okay. So in Singapore, we often hear about the dream, right, of owning a home and climbing the career ladder. But you have shown us that there are alternatives. So what is your vision for the future?
I want to be able to travel while like building my client base. So right now I'm doing freelance, remote work, So my vision for the future is basically to stabilize that and also possibly work on my content creation, because right now I'm not monetizing anything. Yeah, which is very surprising because I've been doing it for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Or like 6 years. Yeah, I have like brand deals like emailing me, but like I just don't have the time. Plus it's very hard when it comes to content creation. It needs the balance. I don't want to be promoting anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so my future is I want to be able to make content creation part of my side income.
Side income.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of your income, what other different sources do you have?
The first time when I moved out from my house and then I traveled, I worked online as a teacher. So I taught, and I also had like a little online school where I teach like coding, and then I found a job as a data analyst at a company, a Singapore-based company, and they allowed me to work remotely. So from then I worked full-time for them as a remote data analyst. Yeah. And then right now I'm in school, so I'm doing more of like freelance clients. I'm doing data analyst services for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our audience right there listening, this means that, actually working remotely also give you a big source of income, and then you can turn your strengths into something to really make more money. So like if you're good at English, math, you can teach tuition and earn more. I was asking Danya actually, like, how you are living the life that a lot of Singaporeans want. And, for myself, is I'm thinking after I graduate, I want to go on a grad trip, because grad trip takes money, right? And I'm trying to save.
You can't think about it that way, because like,
Then when will you live?
yes, when will you
When
live?
will you start living? If you constantly think about, you need to save up for something, And at the end of the day, if you save up, what are you saving up for?
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. If you save up so much, right, then what's gonna happen? Is the money just gonna sit there?
Yes.
And also another thing, grad trips just a
Marketing ploy. Woo!
Tina, think about it.
I don't know though, because I feel like grad trip sort of promises you that freedom, right, after university, where you have worked hard for so long, or it doesn't even have to be university. It could be after your poly, after JC, and we see traveling as sort of a reward.
No,
We don't see it as part of a lifestyle.
but we shouldn't. My personal take is that we shouldn't think of it as like a reward or something. Like that, you can grad trip for any occasion ever. Like that, preschool also you want grad trip.
Yeah.
Like not
Secondary
really
school,
reasonable.
primary
right?
school.
Yeah, lor. Primary school P6 grad trip.
But I think some of your parents would have taken you somewhere after you grad, right? It's like a celebration.
No, I'm not so sure.
To Batam lah. But
JB cross the customs.
Ooh, let's go overseas. It's just JB.
No, but it's fair. Grad trips are like a reward. I guess for someone who doesn't travel much, that
Okay,
could
yeah.
be seen as a reward. And you should do it if you've been stuck in Singapore your whole like 4 years for uni. Yeah, you should definitely get out and stop thinking about saving money.
Yeah, but it's like, let's just say I've never been to Europe. I want to go to Europe for my grad trip. I think that's at least like 6k, 10k.
Yes.
When I could be saving this amount of money as my emergency funds for whenever I need.
What emergency funds?
Stop! No.
Okay, Danya,
I'm not fire right now.
what's your take on emergency funds? Do you feel like it's not
I need,
needed?
definitely, you need it. I have emergency
Lies.
funds. No, I do.
Okay. Like tell us like
tell us about emergency funds.
percentage each month, right? How much do you allocate to emergency fund?
Oh, I just think that my entire savings, I think I take like 10% for emergency.
How do you break down the rest?
The rest is like rent,
Vibes.
Vibes.
rent, flights, food.
I like how
Many
flights come before food.
Guys, this is when you know the difference, right? When Danya thinks of transport, she's thinking airplanes,
Yes.
flights.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking, do I have that $1 privilege to go
MRT,
from
yeah.
my house to my MRT every morning?
I'm thinking, should I walk 10 minutes or should I take the $1 bus?
Wait, did you see the TikTok where the girl was like,
Which
oh god, I'm
one?
left with 60 cents and
Oh my god! She was like, I can't go to work because I only have
60 cents?
in my.
Holy shit, that's really bad.
Relatable
Yeah, okay.
queen.
But anyway.
So that's when we need emergency funds,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Yeah, emergency funds are important, especially when you're traveling, like me. You need it when what if you have a medical emergency?
Exactly.
yes,
So
yes.
that's
Yeah.
why you should have an emergency fund before you travel, right?
Correct, agree.
Yeah. Okay, so we reach a point.
I guess
now.
maybe it's like finding a balance. Like if let's say I only have 10k in my bank account, then maybe I wouldn't want to go Europe for a grad trip if that takes up like 8k. Maybe I can find somewhere nearer, or I could maybe allocate half the budget. So you still have that balance between enjoying life, experiencing what you want, while also still saving up for your core necessities or emergencies.
Yeah, and you could always go like to the little country across the border. No, not little country. I'm so sorry. No, but like JB is fine, guys. Like
I
you
love
want go,
JB.
It's great.
yeah, you want go grad trip in Malaysia. That's completely fine. What's up with like all these Europe grad trips? Like,
True.
like let's normalize JB grad trip.
Yeah, Jamie. Batam grad trips.
Yeah.
Batam grad trip.
Why not Europe? Okay, Europe is fine if you can spend like 5k on it. I spent 5k for a month in Europe. One time. Yeah.
Ooh.
How do you allocate
Wait,
5k for a month in Europe?
I don't know. I did it.
So Danya, so when will you upload this itinerary for the rest of us?
Yeah.
Okay, but my itinerary is a bit like damn bad.
Because it's just vibes. Like
Yeah,
on
it's
her
just
itinerary, it's just take the flight to Europe,
Vibes.
reach Paris, vibes, and then take Ryanair.
Okay, yeah, Ryanair. Lots of Ryanair.
Lots of Ryanair.
Oh hell,
No,
really?
but I took it when it was winter, so it was off season, and where I could like really like enjoy it without tourists.
Wait, she's just really smart with her decisions. Like she just know how to budget and spend very frugally.
Yes.
No lah, like Danya is just smart lah. It's not fair.
Yeah, then you just got a charm, eh? So she's a coder, she's a STEM girly.
Now she's in business.
Doing business.
Yeah.
She can record podcasts, so she
She's
does
a
have some
content
communication.
creator.
Yeah.
She's well loved in Nepal. Yeah, so many
Yeah.
plus points
So
to
many
this
plus
girl.
points.
Anymore?
And she has like so many traveling experiences.
Cute voice.
Yeah.
Financially independent.
Right.
I'm really jealous right now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be.
I'm curious actually. So, let's say you meet the love of your life in Singapore. So it's a Singaporean cute boy, you love him a lot.
Boy.
Is the next step to BTO together?
Wait,
This is such a funny question for Danya.
wait, do you know?
Wait, what?
Continue.
Sorry, did I ask a wrong
I
question?
am. No, the thing is, I can't BTO because I can't marry a man.
I'm so sorry.
If I could marry a girl, I could BTO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then would you leave Singapore?
yes, definitely. I would leave Singapore if I find someone.
Mm.
Yeah, and usually I date people overseas.
Oh.
So it's very hard for me to stay in Singapore because it's like, what's the point? My love of my life is somewhere there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. I don't
Wow.
like right now. I've dated in Singapore a few times. Just vibes.
Just vibes.
Vibes. Yeah.
Maybe
That's your overall like demeanor. It's
Yeah.
just vibe.
just vibes.
Right now, I need like freedom.
Mm.
Not gonna find the love of my life yet.
Do you feel like a partner tie you down then?
No, it's more like I feel like if I have a partner, they will have to accommodate to me, or I have to accommodate to them. And it's selfish in a way. I don't like that. It's like, oh, because they know I always travel, blah blah blah, and they're like, okay, then I have to come to you, that kind of thing. Or like if they're stuck in Singapore, then I'm like, oh, then I have to be in Singapore. It's not really like tie you down. It's like out of love, I have to accommodate to you. And like, out of love. Yeah. It's like, oh my god, love.
But either ways, Danya, you've brought up a lot of like really interesting points that has got us thinking about traveling, our
Yes.
finances, our love life.
Yes.
What else, Tina? Anything else?
Money.
Money, of course. Yeah. Hustles.
Life experience. YOLO.
Life experiences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vibes.
How to
FOMO.
like spend money when you need to spend.
Yes.
Save when you need to save.
Yes.
Yeah. Just be smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so Danya, you have so many like experiences and side hustles and side quests. Okay, you're like a really experienced game character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been doing this like not for just the last year or so. You've been doing this like 5, 6 years.
years.
So, what gives you this like motivation and discipline to keep on going?
I guess my passions and because I want to keep doing the things that I love, and I genuinely have things that I love like surfing, and I love exploring new places, and I love meeting new people. So that is what keeps me going, I guess. Like I feel like, oh, I need to sustain myself to keep, like exploring places and meeting new people, because from all my experiences I feel like it has been nothing but like amazing, and I just want to keep going, chasing something really fruitful and meaningful for myself. Yeah.
Okay. Then because you've been doing this also for a while, right? do you ever feel like burnt out?
Lately, yes. But when I wasn't in school, I was okay. But now I am burnt out because school is making me tired. Yeah, so I'm like juggling a lot of things right now.
I think on that note about like school, right? Because usually, you know, we think of education as sort of a pathway to success. Have you heard of the word FIRE?
Yes, from your TikTok, from your Instagram.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so what does FIRE stand for?
Financial independence, retire early.
That's right. Good job, good job. Good job. Yeah, so Danya, would you ever consider being a part of the FIRE movement?
Yes, like I definitely am chasing like financial independence, like full financial independence. But retiring early, I'm not there yet. But I've ever thought about it, and it's really something. As a traveler, you have to think about it because you know if you retire early, you can travel and live your job. You know, but yeah, that's something I thought about. But as of now, it's really hard, and because I'm still in school, so it's like not something that I'm like actively thinking about. It's more like, oh, what's my job next? You know,
Okay.
But yeah, definitely.
Ooh. So if you could, you would.
Yes, definitely. Like I would need financial independence and a lot of money to continue traveling, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm a budget traveler, so I don't really need like so much money. But this FIRE is really like good for what's it called? Sustainability. Yeah, to continue my lifestyle in the future, and in the future I would also not see myself still backpacking. Like can you imagine me 50 like with backpack?
I mean, why not?
Why not,
So
right?
cute.
But I think
Yeah, a cute grandma, you know, traveling with her backpack, climbing up the mountains,
Danya, like,
motorbiking.
okay, it's cute, but I guess I would see myself more relaxed and like, oh, you know what? I'm a relaxed traveler now.
I see. Okay.
And yeah, FIRE fits into that like lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have one last question for you. So to wrap this episode up, what advice would you give to a potential young Singaporean listening right now and they're considering like a less conventional path, much like the one you took?
Okay, I think Tina mentioned this just now, but I totally agree. Find a strength that you can really work on. It's not you don't have to follow whatever anyone else is doing. Like for example, if everyone is like going on to coding as a remote job, doesn't mean that you have to do it. You know, you have to work on your own personal strength. Like let's say if it's art, it's art. If it's music, it's music. And then you can make something remote out of it if you are going for that. It's always about your personal strength. Instead, don't follow like what other people are doing. If you want advice, go for your friends who actually personally know you and know your values, not like outsiders' perspectives, because that is they don't know you that way, and yeah, you should always follow your heart.
Good advice. I like that.
Yeah, thank you, Danya. That was really inspiring. And I think hearing about your story just sort of gives us a lot of hope that maybe after graduation, this is something that we can look into. And, you know, I think you also debunk the myth that traveling is only for you when you retire early, or traveling is only for the privileged with all the money, right? So I think your story really proved that financial independence isn't a one-size-fits-all journey, and there is just so much that we can gain just by stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yes, definitely. And for those listening, we hope that Danya's story inspires you to rethink your financial future and what it could look like, or even how FIRE could look like for you.
Yeah, so thank you once again, Danya, for joining us today on Spotify or YouTube. So for everybody that's watching or listening to this podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow us on our Instagram at playingwithfire.sg and check out our website at www.playingwithfiresg.com for more tips.
See you next time by the fireside. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.